gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Spa Day. Ooh la la. Ha ha ha. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the Darren Elkins of Sabermetrics, Michael Magus.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts my feels.
I mean, he just keeps taking a beating and taking a beating, but he comes back, man.
That hurts my feels.
I have no idea why. Okay, I do have a connection as to why that came up. I was just watching a MMA on point video about who has the strongest chin in the history of the UFC.
Elkins is up there.
No, he's disqualified because he's been KO'd or TKO'd or knocked down.
Mm.
So they eliminated everybody who had those things. And then I don't know why. I just... oh, no, they had a very brief clip of Brad Pitt in Moneyball.
Okay.
So that all came together, and it makes no sense, really.
Gotcha.
Now that I've explained it and over-explained it, the race is over.
We're still in qualifying here. We're finishing it up. We'll get a grid rundown in a little bit. I will say my favorite Darren Elkins moment was from the MMA Vivisection when he was fighting against Chaz Skelly. And Zane Simon's response to the fight was, Chaz Skelly is like the new age Darren Elkins. You can't out Darren Elkins. So I'm picking Darren Elkins.
That is fair. The damage.
Indeed. His nickname is... it's applicable. Anyways, Max Simmons currently leading the way from Silvio Cortese. Who is Sandro Cortese? Leave that in the comments below, because every time I see Silvio Cortese's name, I think Sandro Cortese. There has to be some racing driver or MMA fighter or something that has informed that connection in my brain.
You're thinking of Marlon Sandro, and
I'm not thinking of Marlon
Cortese
Sandro.
Looks like a fish.
I'm not thinking of Marlon Sandro. Michael Landry in third place. He's looking to finally get a decent result going here. He's had a rough season. William Murrah, Zach Martin, Dan French, John Archie, Dominic Turcotte, Neil Sutherland, and Robert Arzumanian continuing to show off his good form after the Hungaroring. That is your top 10. Things are finishing up here. Championship-wise, Max Simmons enters today 20 points ahead of William Murrah, and quick math in my head, 25 points ahead of Neil Sutherland in the overall championship. The team's championship dominated by Porsche Motorsports North America, who have gotten the bad news because Matthew Higgs might be out for the season. He's relocating for some work reasons, so he might not be around. That team might be knocked down to 2 cars, and it opens a door for Momo Fine to maybe take the fight to them, but they're almost 100 points behind. So in
you can just
rounds,
tell people the truth. You don't have to lie. He's been shipped off to a gulag.
Well, I mean, if I had my way, he'd be shipped off to a gulag.
He's been recruited into the Ukrainian Human Shield Force.
So the only real interesting battle teams wise is the battle for third place, which is a pretty big fight. 905 Racing, Prestige Worldwide, Argentine Crew, WRT Audi, and HMB Sport are all kind of in that fight. Like, it's a 49-point gap between those 5 teams. So it's pretty interesting. Silver Cup, Zach Martin enters today 1 point up on Mark Sutherland and 15 points up on Michael Magus. In the Bronze Cup, it is a 7-point lead for Jeremy Reeder over Ayrton Arsenault, who is 5 points ahead of Scott Johnston and Connor Costantini. And those are the championship standings coming into this Spa race. Spa is a really familiar track, and we got rain, Byron.
Delightful.
It is raining. We don't have the weather forecast on the screen right now, so is it going to be a rain all the way, or is this going to be a wet, dry race? We will find out. By the way, we got Dixon Hurst back on the grid. Welcome back, Dixon. And we got a debuting John Stevens in the field, as well as Art Mitchell. So, a couple of new guys, and we welcome them. In the case of Art and Dixon, we welcome them back to the field after a bit of an absence. And in the case of John, welcome aboard, my friend.
Now get out.
We also got 2 Lexuses in the field. So the Lexus RCF car that we have not seen all season, it's here today. In the hands of Dixon Hurst as well as John Stevens. Honestly, it's kind of weird to think of this, but we've got Art Mitchell bringing out the Aston Martin. Is this the first time we've seen an Aston Martin this season? It would be really surprising because that's a very good car, very popular within the community.
I've seen several pictures of them online while this season was happening.
I'm looking through the booking sheet here, and wow, this may legitimately be the first Aston Martin we've seen this season. Yeah, it's the only one. It's the only one booked. This is weird because I mean Lexus and Aston Martin have been super popular cars within the community, and this is the first time we've seen them this season in 3D speed. Very weird.
20 seconds.
It's not like our usual hated cars, which are Audi, Lamborghini. I'm trying to think of what other car we're just like randomly predisposed never to pick, but I think it's probably those two are probably the best examples. Two Audis in the field, Ayrton Arsenault, Michael Magus, and the Lambo of Scott Johnston.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared for the next 90 minutes of the warm-up lap.
Connor Costantini will be starting from the pit lane. Might be a good idea, honestly, with with the run-up to Eau Rouge here. It may not be a bad idea to start from the pit lane, if we're being completely honest. All right, here we go. Looks like our cameraman has forgotten to hit drive. I was told that this happens. I'm aware of the problem.
And how long does it happen for?
About 30 seconds, he said.
Dang.
Send your concerns to Martin Edmonds, P.O. Box.
Green light. Give it all you got.
Here we go. So we head down to Eau Rouge for the first time. We'll see how it handles in the wet. And the lead is going to go to Dan French. Looks like the Mercedes is in front of the Porsche of Max Simmons. Good work there. Contact. One of the Bentleys is off, as well as Robert Arzumani. And I'm going to assume that was Dominic Turcotte caught up in that. Just makes sense based on, there we go. Drive has been pressed. Makes sense just based on where they qualified. I don't think Cliff Hemian, who qualified 21st place, would be anywhere near Robert Arzumian, but it's possible. Side-by-side action in the background between Benjamin Adamien and Michael Magus, as well as the two BMWs shuffling a little bit. Jeremy Reeder leading Neil Sutherland. You would think that Sutherland would get the nod there as the team leader of the Momo Fine crew, but not in this case. So it is French leading from Simmons, Landry, Cortese, Martin, Murrah, Archie, Reeder, Neil Sutherland, and Michael Magus up into the top 10. And it was, I think we can safely say it was Turcotte. He's down in 23rd place, so it looks like it was Turcotte and Arzumanian who got into blows at Eau Rouge as we head through Pouillon. And I see a car very off the track there. Not sure whom that would be. It is Michael Landry. Good job, camera guy. Landry going very slowly. I wonder, did he fuck up his setup? And yes. I don't know. It's possible.
Not only possible.
William Murrah also dropping through the field.
Possible.
A lot of chaos. Oh my lord. Benjamin Adamien getting nudged by Murrah, who hits Art Mitchell. That puts Mitchell off the track. I don't see how Murrah doesn't end up with a penalty on that, to be honest. That was 2 nudges against Adamien, and then also contact with Mitchell. Michael Magus in front of William Murrah now. Looks like he's had some problems because he's dropped back down to 18th place after being in the top 10. Murrah off the track. Murrah is having all kinds of problems and has Dominic Turcotte up behind him as Magus spins out at Blanchiment. And Turcotte up behind William Murrah. Battle of two guys who are very Battle of two guys who are very out of place in 18th and 19th. You don't usually see Murrah and Turcotte this far back in the field. Two guys who, at the beginning of the season, you would have had to list as championship contenders, although Turcotte's DNF at Monza definitely hurting his season. But otherwise, he's been 3rd and 6th. Murrah's 2nd in the championship course. A runner-up at Hungaroring most recently. Somebody in the wall there, didn't catch whom. I'm gonna guess that it might be Mark Sutherland. The colors were right. or a Momofine BMW. But it could also have been John Stevens in the Lexus. So
could it have been Jimmy Hoffa?
So Connor Constantini, who started from the pit lane, is up to 21st place. Might not have been a bad idea. Although, mind you, he qualified 13th, so there's a solid chance he'd be very high. He'd be in the top 10. Judging by, I'm looking at all those bronze drivers in the top 10 right now. Reeder, Waz, Lasudis, Johnston, Arsenault, Arzumian. It's a big day for the bronzes right now. Looks like Max Simmons has found his way back in the lead. That has happened off camera because Dan French is down to second place. And I don't see Simmons up there, so he is the name missing. So we got 24 cars, 23 are on the screen there by process of elimination. Max Simmons leads. Looks like some problems for Dixon Hurst as well. He's down at the back. Continue to follow. Oh, looked like somebody else was off there. Constantini and Mark Sutherland battling for position. And it looks like oh, never mind. He's still there. Okay. Bit of weird camera work here. A little bit of physicality there from the Bentley, but he will go off track and lose the position.
He should go to the pits and check the lost and found for that position.
Looking to see who's dropping through the order. It is Art Mitchell. It might have been off the track. Byron, you always love these wet weather races because it gives us a lot of carnage and a lot of wall moments for you to comment on.
Yes, but it also makes my hair all curly.
Oh.
It's all the humidity.
It's not really a problem. Me and Byron both are what we call follically challenged.
Makes my beard all frizzled.
Silvio Cortese battling with Zach Martin and John Archie. Three-way fight for third place behind Dan French and Max Simmons. Simmons, by the way, is just pulling away. That gap is up to 5.1 seconds. It was 3.5 not that long ago. So 1.6 seconds already in front. And Martin falling back there a little bit. And under pressure from Neil Sutherland, who's in 6th place now. Jeremy Reeder having a good day. And shout out to Tom Laws running in the top 10, Byron. The enemy of pylons is running in the top 10.
Is it Pouillon?
Simeon Naku also coming through the field to 11th place now. Murr is up to 13th after his earlier problems. Looking back from Cortese at John Archie, Zach Martin, and Neil Sutherland. So everything has been very turned upside down, and there's a lot of people further back in the field that have a lot of pace. Be interested to see what they can do. I'm looking at William Murrah, who's up to 11th place now. I'm looking at Dominic Turcotte, Michael Landry, Robert Arzumian. These guys are all, Mark Sutherland, these guys are all kind of out of position. Benjamin Adamian even. And it'll be interesting to see if they can come back.
See, what you got to do is if you just drive fast enough, your tires are too hot to do anything except evaporate all of the water. Thus creating a steam cloud behind you and broiling all of your competition. Battle
of the Italian marks as both Ferraris will overtake Scott Johnston there in his Lamborghini, and Ayrton Arsenault also says thank you very much. It makes up a spot. So that's Murrah into the top 10, Naku to 11th, and Arsenault to 12th. I think Johnston might lose out here pretty quickly to either Cliff Hemian or Dominic Turcotte. Not sure which of those Bentleys it is. Looks like it's Hemian. And Turcotte right behind him, Michael Landry. So yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare spot right now for Scott Johnston, who's going to be shuffled back a number of spots here. Let's see it happening. And William Murrah also had an off there, and that's put Simeon Naku into the top 10. In his AF Corsa Ferrari, as Murrah goes off again. William Murrah is having all kinds of problems here. It's feast or famine. He's got ridiculous speed, but it feels like he's on too much of a margin right now. Just absolutely losing the car.
You're saying that he's off the Corsa AF?
Oh no, Silvio Cortese! Spins out of Eau Rouge. That'll cost him a podium at least for now. Let's pick up Ayrton Arsenault behind William Murrah, and behind him, he's got Scott Johnston, one of the Bentleys in the mix there, as well as Michael Landry. Trying to work out which Bentley Prestige that is. It looks like it's Cliff Hemming, because it looks like Turcotte is out of the race. I don't see him anywhere by... Oh, no, there he is. He's in 17th place. Okay, so Turcotte's still running, but has dropped back, so he's had some problems.
Actually, everybody below Arsenault is crashed and no longer racing.
Well, you can see them right there, so that's incorrect.
Those are ghosts.
As Michael Landry overtakes Scott Johnston in his McLaren 720S. By the way, Michael Landry, we got to talk, man. That's the wrong livery again. You've been warned about this.
You'll be fined $17,000, payable directly to me.
He's supposed to be... Let me check what livery he's supposed to be in. Actually, that tells you how many times he's violated the livery procedure that I don't even remember what livery he's supposed to be in. Where is he? Where is he? Why do I not see him on... There he is. He's supposed to be in the 2C's livery. So, get on that, sir. This is unacceptable. Ayrton Arsenault, right on board with Cliff Hemian, who is right behind Scott Johnston. Running at 15th place in his Bentley, the right-hand drive car. That always throws me off when I try to drive the Bentley. The right-hand driveness of it is, it's a bit weird.
Could be worse. Could be Badgers.
Could be. Cliff Hemian representing the Prestige Worldwide Bentley crew. Him and Dominic Turcotte are battling for third place in the standings. I think they're in third place, right? No, they're not. They're fourth. 905 racers, Robert Arzumi and Dan French, currently hanging on to third place. Oh! And Scott Johnston gets spun around by Hemian. I don't know if there was contact there, actually. It didn't feel like it. That'll be an interesting, maybe a stewarding moment to have a look at. I don't know. Might have been some lag issues, though.
I don't know, but the little guy who duct taped to that car with the camera is doing a great job.
He is. Cliff Hemian backing up and trying to rejoin the race here. It's coming up behind him. That is Michael Magus. Zip past him. I was like, that's a red car. Which red car is it? And it's not a Ferrari, so it's Magus by process of elimination.
You're fired.
So the only other two red cars, I believe, are these two here, Simeon Naku and William Murrah in the Ferraris. As Naku gets Eau Rouge wrong and will lose 10th place as a result. They're coming up to Andreas Lasudas. Michael Landry also trying to make moves there. Ayrton Arsenault in the shot. Benjamin Adamian in the background, along with one of the Momo Fine BMWs. That would be Mark Sutherland. Riding on board with Simeon Naku as he looks at the back of the McLaren 720S of Michael Landry.
Was it just like Momo's, like not Momo's best car? It's just Momo Fine?
I have no idea what's with the Momo thing. You would have to ask Neil and Mark Sutherland. That's the name they race at under, like, every time.
Well, maybe they're from Elmo.
Maybe. I don't, I know where some of the names come from. I mean, obviously Porsche Motorsports North America, that's just a factory team name. 905 Racers, that's the area code for Robert Arzumi and Dan French. Prestige Worldwide, I mean, Bentley's prestigious. I mean, Michael Landry off the track a little bit there. Simeon Naku might get that spot, might not. We'll see. Looks like Landry's going to hang on to it. Argentine crew, they're both Argentinians. WRT Audi, that's just the in-game name for the team. HMB Sport, that's what I came up with because Tom Waz and Connor Costantini couldn't come up with a good name. So I was like, HMB, they're like, what was that? Like, Her Majesty's Boats? Boat base? And that's the name that's stuck. And KCMG, that's also just a name from the game. It's Andreas Lasudas and Mika Watt's team. In fact, that is Andreas Lasudas right there in the KCMG Porsche. Currently hanging on to 10th place ahead of Landry and Naku. He's lost out to Murrah. And and probably will lose out to these two fairly quickly. They seem to have definitely had a pace advantage over him, along with Arzumian, Adamian, Sutherland. Max Simmons still in the lead, and it looks like it's a pretty big lead because we're not getting a gap back to Dan French. This might be a third win in a row for Simmons, who of course triumphed at both Monza and the Hungaroring, and is really heading towards what I think might be his first ESR championship, Byron. We might actually have to say the words Max Simmons champion.
Well, I don't see how that's possible since he rarely ever leaves the pits.
Also, I haven't even really talked about it. Looks like the track will be drying out in about 10 minutes. We got the rain letting up. So this might be a time for the patented Max Simmons late pit strategy where he goes on towards the end and tries to get on dry tires, maybe. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Or they
suit is still hanging on.
A bunch of hair dryers over the wheels and run a long extension cord for him.
That actually really would not work out all that well.
What? That's kind of negative talk that I don't want to hear.
Well, here's the problem. When the track starts to dry out, the wet tires are going to start to get very hot, so putting hair dryers near them is not actually a great plan.
Well, then you just unplug them. Easy.
Simeon Niku still in the mix here with Lasutis and Landry, and Lasutis goes wide at Pouillon, and that will let Landry through. That will let Niku through. Might let Arsenault through, actually. Come on, camera guy, show us it. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Lasutis going side by side with Ayrton Arsenault. Still, come on, I just can't see it. It's just out of shot. It's just out of shot, and it's frustrating.
It's right behind you. It's coming from inside the house.
Not quite possible. Arsenault's got it. All right, we have our answer. We didn't get it on screen, but Arsenault got the job done. So, quick silver update. Zach Martin is in control. Simeon Niku in second place. Benjamin Anabian in third. And in the bronze category, Jeremy Reeder, who's running in sixth place, seventh place. Might be in the pits now that I'm looking at this, but dropping down a little bit. And he's followed by Tom Waz and Ayrton Arsenault. Dan French has dropped back to sixth place, so he's had some problems. Zach Martin up to second. A couple of teams going in the pits there. Ayrton Arsenault is one of them. Saw somebody else go in as well. Might have been Andreas Lasutis. No, I think it's just Arsenault. Interesting timing on the pit stop here. I don't think it's a good idea because it's way too early to ponder dry tires. And I do think that this track is going to get, if not dry, then a lot drier. And, I mean, maybe if Arsenault was having problems with the car, he's just got to pit. But it didn't seem that way.
He's probably just going to put on slightly moist tires.
As Benjamin Adamien violates track limits at Eau Rouge, but to no advantage.
They should play that the guard quote, the guard soundbite from Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Stop! You violated the law!
That'd be good. I'd be down with it. I've been watching Reacher a lot lately on Prime.
Oh yeah? Is that any good?
It's pretty good, actually. I enjoy it. There's a bit where he's going to get into a fight with like 4 drunken idiots. And he's like, let me guess, guy in a nice pickup came by, slid you $50 a piece to come mess with me, like 100. Okay. All right. What, you're going to fight all 4 of us? Now I'm going to break 3 kids' hands. There are 4 of us. One of you has to drive to the hospital.
My mother really likes those books, and she was stupendously pissed off when Tom Cruise fucking moneyed his way into that.
I actually thought
very short.
I did actually think Tom Cruise did a good job, but yeah, his physicality is just all wrong for the book character.
Yeah, I didn't have any real issues with the. I don't think. No, I have seen the second movie. I just don't remember it. But
the second movie wasn't great. Wasn't bad. Yeah. Wasn't great. The first one was actually pretty good. Like, Tom Cruise did a good job, but, like, if you're a book fan, like, totally, he's not Reacher. Like, that would be 100% the case, as Michael Magus is getting caught here by Cliff Hemian and Robert Arzumi. It looks like he's having troubles with the car, going wide at virtually every corner.
So I let my mother know that there's now a series on Amazon Prime. And I'm like, good news! They got an actual big dude for the role. Mm-hmm. Bad news! He ain't black. Still not black. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that the black portion of the character, don't get me wrong, if we're being true to the book, obviously he has to be black, but I don't think that really informs the character quite in the same way that the size does.
Fair enough.
Because the size, absolutely reading the books. It's part of it. It's like I'm sorry, Tom Cruise just doesn't have the presence that the fictional Reacher character has. Like, this is all there's to it. As Michael Magus ducks into the pit lane there, it looks like he was having some major problems with the car's handling.
Was he?
He was. I can pull back the curtain here and say that my tires were flat spotted like a bitch, and it was vibrating all around the place.
Sounds like you just need to take 17 or 18 very strategically placed slides around corners.
Had a guess, I would say I was losing 5 seconds a lap with the inability to stick to the line and do anything right. So I wanted to stay out there because obviously I predicted the track was going to dry out a bit, and I was going to either have to do pressure updates or go to dry tires. So I wanted to go late, but it wasn't going to happen with how bad the tires were at that point. Losing out to Cliff Hemian and Robert Arzumi in the fashion I did. Not that they are not in my ballpark, because they very much are. They're both rivals of mine. But the way they were able to just breeze by me, that was the final straw of like, I got to get in the pits. I've got to do something.
You must wash your pits.
Also in the pits, Neil Sutherland and Art Mitchell. Simmons continues to lead from Zach Martin, John Archie, Silvio Cortese, Jeremy Reeder in the top 5 in the bronze with the bronze rating there, with the red number plate. And Dan French, William Murrah, Michael Landry, Simeon Naku, and Tom Laws is still hanging around in the top 10. Hell of a run from the HMB Bentley crew. They had a great run at Monza from Connor Constantini, and they are replicating that success here today in the wet. So it seems like that team has got a line on what to do with a wet weather setup.
And what that is have tiny people under your wheel well and mop your tires to keep them nice and tractiony.
Zach Martin under pressure from John Archie. This has been going on a while. These two were battling with Cortese, and then Cortese fell way back. Not sure what happened there. He is back in 4th place, about 15 seconds behind these two. So it's a two-way fight for 2nd place. Stop-go penalty for Michael Magus. That will be speeding in the pit lane.
What a bastard. Have him flayed alive.
I'm not opposed. Zach Martin on board with the McLaren 720 driver. It's McLaren versus Porsche at the front, as it has been for a lot of this season, although Neil Sutherland, Dominic Turcotte, William Murrah also mixing it up there. Just seems like that Porsche and McLaren have multiple people to run towards the front of the pack. Obviously, Porsche has all 3 Porsche North America cars, McLaren 720s, you got Cortese, you've got Zach Martin, you've got Brandon Baker. It's a very, very solid lineup that brand has in 3D speed right now. No Marcelo Letelier today. Didn't even realize that until now. No Nissans. Mercedes making inroads lately. Dan French, Robert Arzumi are putting in some good efforts there. So, that seems like the on-the-rise brand right now. Bentley's had some good outings.
What about Daihatsu?
Daihatsu is not. Oh, Michael Landry is also a 720, although 2 DNFs so far have not has not really belied the speed that he's got. He's up in 8th place now. Qualified even higher today, so even 8th place feels like a bad day for him as John Archie snags fastest lap there. Scott Johnston that they are overtaking to put the lap on him. Drive-through penalty for Art Mitchell. It'll be track limit abuse.
Fine.
And John Archie going too wide and gets second place through Eau Rouge.
Cha-cha-cha.
The balls on this man, although it looks like that 720 has got the edge on the Kemmel Straight. Admittedly, I have to say that is an incredibly risky move from John Archie because that Porsche does not have good performance down the Kemmel. And, well, you just kind of saw why, as Martin kind of just takes the spot back despite a great move, just not necessarily the greatest thought-through move by ya boy John Archie. Racing Max Simmons.
He hoped if he passed correctly, then the person behind him would just throw himself into the wall.
Looks like Max Simmons is having a little bit of frustration with Ayrton Arsenault and some blue flags here. There's some headlight flashing. It's around him there at Pouillon. Not really sure why you would be terribly aggressive under blue flags with an 18-second lead, but hey, it is within his rights to be displeased under the blues.
You got the
Pit
blues.
stop from William Murrah coming up. We'll see where he comes out. As someone who's been a back marker for a large portion of my career, being the dickhead when it comes to blue flags does not do you any services. That's what gets you rammed. I'm not gonna lie. So, I think always something to probably consider when you're not under pressure is be nice to the blue flag guys. If I may quote Mac Danzig, be nice to Bowman.
Correct.
Tom Waz still rounding in the top 10 there in the green Bentley for HMB. Under pressure for Benjamin Adamian at the moment. Not too far away from Mark Sutherland in 9th place. Although Sutherland did overtake him recently, so I suspect he'll probably leg away a little bit. Still a very solid effort from the bronze driver. Again, Connor Costantini had a really good run at Monza. We're seeing a really good run here at Spa from Tom Waz. So this team's got a lot of potential. Not necessarily the easiest car to corral with bronze drivers, but the Bentley is doing well this season. It's kind of been a good Bentley at almost every race this season. Dominic Turcotte was the man at Barcelona. Costantini was very solid at Monza. And then recently at Hungaroring, Dominic Turcotte came out with another good result there in 6th place. Zach Martin still hanging on. Dan French, Michael Landry, Simeon Naku all hitting the pit lane. The rain is down to just a drizzle. 15 minutes ago. This track does take a long time to dry out because, of course, it's a very long one. You can see that by the fastest laps being over 2:30 around this track. It's not short. Longest track on the season. As they head through Bruxelles.
The Bruxelles Sprouts.
And into No Name. And then next up will be Pouillon. Archie thinking about it again. Was thinking about an outside run there into Pouillon. I don't think that's really going to work. Or maybe that was Martin going defensive and it's backfiring because he slides wide. And John Archie says, thank you very much. I'll take that spot. And Porsche North America running 1-2. I don't know why I'm excited about that. I'm kind of anti-Porsche North America. I feel like they've formed a super team and it's a little bit unsporting.
Well, I mean, and you have the career history of hating Porsches.
You're not wrong. Also, Max Simmons and Matt Hicks. It's really all the negative things I feel towards teams right there. Right in that team. Dislike a Porsche, dislike a super teams, and personal confusion when it comes to Max Simmons and a general dislike of Matt Hicks. But Max Simmons is having a fantastic season. I'm actually excited to see if he pulls out this 3rd straight win here today. That will put a real stranglehold on the championship. But it feels nice to have some new blood. Although we did have new blood last season with Andrew Warden, and they are going to pit at the same time, so no one's going to go undercut or overcut. Interesting. We're seeing a lot of pitting right now, so I'm wondering if this is a case where the track is getting a lot drier. It has been downgraded to damp, so I wonder if anybody is going on to the dry tires yet. Max Simmons is also in the pit lane. We pick up Tom Waz, still battling with Benjamin Adamien. Mark Sutherland, Jeremy Reeder, Silvio Cortese, Andreas Lasudis, Connor Costantini, Robert Arzumian, and Dixon Hurst, as well as John Stevens, are still going around on their without a pit stop. So all of those guys. Oh, Stevens in the pits. Dixon Hurst under pressure from Dan French. There is not really much of a point in fighting this. French has done his pit stop. He's well ahead of Hurst. And Hurst has got some vibrations going on there. Wouldn't be surprised if he's carrying a little bit of damage. Yep, there it is. The bonnet is open.
Are you picking up good vibrations?
This puts Cortese in the lead for the time being, but it's a pit stop shuffle. I think Simmons will easily come out in the lead. Once everything's all sorted out, he was up about 20 seconds in the front of the pack. So unless there is a mistake in the pit lane, I think he's good. Tom Waz up into 4th place. Things I didn't really think I would say.
Wow, that was not nice to say.
All I can say is that Tom Waz has historically had some problems in this series, and he's actually really coming out. He's really coming out with some good results lately. I mean, they don't sound all that flashy, finishing in 17th place being his best result, but he's definitely been more competitive and much more on the pace lately. So I tip, since I'm not wearing a hat, I tip my headphones to him, and
but now you can't hear anything.
I said I tipped my headphones. They stayed on. They just rotated around my ears.
Disgusting. Now they've got all that dead skin all over them.
Actually, they don't, because I just showered and my ears are all dead skin free.
Have you scraped them clean with a pumice stone as per your doctor's instructions?
Actually, I do have a little bit behind my ear that has to be scraped with a pumice stone every once in a while. So I have a condition called plaque psoriasis, which, I mean, everyone's psoriasis, dandruff, obviously. But mine is like, number one, it appears on places other than just my head. And number two, it kind of forms into like this thick bit of dry skin, which is a bit of a problem. It's actually why I initially started shaving my head. I wasn't going bald yet when I first shaved my head. It was so I could treat some of the spots of plaque psoriasis with the appropriate cream.
Oh, I'll just get you a belt sander. It'll be fine.
That would probably work. Probably work. Cortesian for the lead, Jeremy Reeder in as well. Let's see if Mark Sutherland and Tom Waz come in or not. We're also waiting on Adamien and Andreas Lasudis, our Argentinian contingent. Picking up Scott Johnson in the orange Triple F car. Heading through Eau Rouge. It's always a great camera shot through Eau Rouge, I'm not going to lie. It's an incredibly... It's the most dangerous chunk of track in all of motorsports, probably, but you can see the appeal of it. As Sutherland and Waz have gone around again, so they're still staying out there. Looks like maybe Andreas as well. Adamien did come in. So we got 3 cars out there still. I imagine they're waiting to try to put dry tires on, as John Archie just put the fastest lap of the race up. By the way, Archie came out ahead of Zach Martin, and by a fair bit. I wonder, I have the pit deltas available, so let's see if I can do this without spoiling the race results for myself. I do see about a 4-second gap in the pit delta, so Martin with a bad pit stop, 1 minute 38. That's a pretty long pit delta, 1 minute 34 for John Archie. Fastest pit delta is the man who's in the pits right now, actually, so a little spoiler. Jeremy Reeder, a minute 30. Very good pit stop.
It's one of them readers.
Neil Sutherland running in the top 10. He needs better. I thought at Barcelona, when he won, it looked like he was going to be a championship contender, but then rough times at Hungaroring with a drive-through penalty, and now rough times at Spa. It's kind of derailing his championship fight. probably is higher than he's being shown, though. 9th place. Probably he'll be ahead of Lasudis. Probably ahead of all 3 of the guys who've stayed out longer. I think he was ahead of them all. So I think we'll see him move up as we... I don't know why, but we're checking in with Michael Magus as he hits the Camel Straight.
Good look at that body.
What do you think about my paint scheme there, Byron, with the orange, the yellow, and the red?
It's very Hulk Hogan and therefore racist.
It is. I was thinking more Macho Man Randy Savage, honestly, with the pattern.
That's fine. I think that should be the new policy going forward, is to erase Hulk Hogan and make everything Macho Man. So that sounds fine, except racism.
Well, it's more like swooshy, which I always took. I always took more as a Macho Man versus a Hulk Hogan color scheme.
That is very true.
I was not a big fan of either of them, if we're being entirely honest.
I love Macho Man. He was always fucking off the rails in every interview.
Mm-hmm.
You never knew what he was going to say. What he was going to say.
Mark Sutherland, Tom was in, by the way. I think this is just it's an age gap thing. I was not around for the best of Randy Savage.
Yeah.
I kind of got still good Randy Savage, but not best Randy Savage.
The cream rises to the top. Yeah.
Cup of coffee.
Get your hand shaking, your hot dog, high fiving a hot dog, and I can't remember what it is. Grandstanding a hot dog, and that's what it was.
My introduction to pro wrestling was around the more like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart era of WWF.
It was a pretty good time.
The new gen. Kevin Nash, Diesel, of course. Undertaker. Mankind.
Cactus. See, I was a big fan of Cactus Jack because I started out watching. Well, I watched WWF, but I also watched a lot of WCW because it was on one of the channels we had. Mm-hmm. And so I got to watch the Cactus Jack versus Big Van Vader feud, and got to watch Mick Foley tear chunks of his own hair out in a frenzy of ridiculousness on TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Cactus Jack was my favorite of the 4 faces of Foley, effectively, because there's the Mick Foley face in there as well.
Yep.
I did really enjoy the return of Cactus Jack to face Randy Orton.
I did not, because I knew that they were going to bury Mick Foley and thus bury the gimmick.
I don't think they buried it, honestly. I mean, Orton won, needless to say, and should, future, eat the old. But I thought Foley was booked actually very, very strong in that whole feud. Like, I mean, he got to beat up Batista, he got to beat up Ric Flair, he got a lot in against Orton. I don't think he got buried at all, to be honest.
No, I don't like it. Mick Foley should never lose to anybody.
I'd be okay with that, but I think even Foley even specifically said he came back to put Orton over. So Naku overtaking Benjamin Adamien there, 12th place. But there was the bit where Foley was like, "You're not going to face Mick Foley." I forget what pay-per-view it was. I think it was No Mercy. You're not going to face Mick Foley at No Mercy. Mick Foley cares about Randy Orton, cares about destroying and scarring Randy Orton. And then Orton's like, go back home, old man. And then Foley's walking out, turns back and just goes, "But I know someone who doesn't." And that was where he's like, "Have a nice day." I'm like, oh god, Cactus Jack back.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, when he pulled out the Cactus Jack gimmick in WWE, I'd already seen the real thing. So to see the Steven Spielberg 3 coats of candy gloss,
that was awesome. That was awesome. Just so good.
Didn't like it at all. It was gross. It was very watered down and very just kind of meh.
Mankind, my main mandible up high.
Correct.
Cactus Jack is back. Simeon Naku trying to get around Ayrton Arsenault. I think so. Arsenault went in the pits very, very, very early. I imagine he's on wet tires. I imagine those tires are overheating because you can see the track is greasy and the wet tires do not like a greasy track. This is a dry weather track right now. And Simeon, Naku, and Adamian. Adamian in particular pitted very, very late. I imagine he's got the best tires of these three. Because either he has the freshest wets or he has dries. I'm not sure if what Naku's on. This would be nice if we could get like in race room will show you the tire compounds. ACC does not. So we're kind of on a what I can recall sort of thing here. But Arsenault, I'm assured, is on overheating wets. You can see him actually seeking out the wet weather puddles. Like, you could say he's maybe weaving to defend. I don't think he is, actually. I think he's trying to find the wet surface of the track to get some temperature relief on those tires.
Yeah, just put him in the microwave for 30 seconds.
Tom Waz on the back end of that. So everyone's pitted. So we got Simmons, Martin, Archie, top three. Which I don't know what happened to Archie. Archie was in second place, like, well ahead. Now suddenly he finds himself in third. Cortese, Reeder, Sutherland, Neil, Murrah, French, Landry, Mark Sutherland, your top 10. Then it's this battle here between Arsenault, Naku, and Adamian. I'm going to be very impressed if Arsenault hangs on here. And Tom Waz back there. Andres Lasudis, Connor Costantini, Robert Arzumian, who's had a bad day, Dixon Hurst, Michael Magus, Scott Johnson, John Stevens. We have lost Dominic Turcotte, Cliff Hemian, and Art Mitchell from the race. Very disappointing to see Art and Art's return come to an end, and a very disappointing day for Prestige Bentley because they have lost both their cars. On a day where, based on the performance of the HNB sister team, the other Bentley team in the field, that car was strong. And Ayrton Arsenault is going to get overtaken here around Blanchimont, or Establo, pardon me, by Simeon Naku, and I think Benjamin Adamian will probably also find his way through here as the checkered flag is out. Pick up Arsenault. And you can see that car is a handful. I imagine those tires are overheating quite badly. Oh, no, Tom Waz! Off the track at Blanchimont. And a chance to get into the top 13, which is a very arbitrary number. Looks like it'll come to a close here, although it looks like we'll go one more lap. So Simmons is on the last lap, hasn't been shown the checkered yet. We've only got the white flag out. And here we go. Byron, do you think Tom Waz is going to get Ayrton Arsenault?
Not with shenanigans like that, Jim. He's definitely going to be probably not going to be able to perpetrate the shenanigans.
Would have been nice if I could have got a lap time there for Arsenault, but was pitted late, so I'm giving Tom the benefit of doubt that he probably is on dry tires. Which would also explain why he had a hard time at Blanchimont, obviously. There's still water on the track. It's greasy. It's not fully dry. But I assume he's on dries. And like I said, Arsenault is almost definitely on wets. Because he was one of the earliest pitters. Him and Scott Johnston, I think, were the first two in. So they're definitely on wets. I can confirm that Michael Magus is on wets because that's me. And I can also confirm that the wets were on the verge of exploding around this track. Arsenault in 13th place. Waz in 14th place. Quite a ways to go. Looks like Ayrton's got this, though. Hanging on. Checkered flag is out. Max Simmons has got his third consecutive victory. He's taken Monza and the Hungaroring. Now he's got Spa-Francorchamps. Was 5th at Barcelona, so he's pretty dominant in the championship right now. We'll get a full championship rundown here in minutes. Tom Waz going side by side with Arsenault there. We'll see if he can get it done. This is the battle right now. Zach Martin second, and your silver winner. John Archie, Silvio Cortese, Jeremy Reeder, your top 5. Reeder is your bronze winner. And, William Murrah getting side by side with Sutherland. Hey, these guys have finished the race. Can we go back to Waz and Arsenault? Auto director, come on. Come on. Simeon Naku battling with Benjamin Adamian. That's fair. These two are still racing. Over 11th place, it is going to be Naku ahead of Adamian. And it is going to be Tom Waz got the job done. We didn't see it, but he gets Ayrton Arsenault for 13th place in the Bentley. That'll be his best result of the season and maybe his entire career.
Even better than the time that he destroyed everyone else and took 1st through 17th place.
Andres Lasudis in 15th place. Next across the line will be Costantini, pardon me. As John Archie has a little bit of an off here on the cool down lap. Gentlemen should be taking these chances on the cool down lap. And we have our results. I'll give you the full rundown here. Race winner, Max Simmons, followed by Zach Martin, followed by John Archie, followed by Silvio Cortese, Jeremy Reeder, William Murrah, Neil Sutherland, Dan French, Michael Landry, finally getting a finish, Michael Landry, Mark Sutherland, Simeon Naku, Benjamin Adamian, Tom Waz, Ayrton Arsenault, Andres Lasudis, Connor Costanini, Robert Azumian, Dixon Hurst, Michael Magus, Scott Johnson, John Stevens finding the way to the end of this race. Stevens never put up a legal lap, which is a little concerning. Cliff Hemme and Art Mitchell and Dominic Turcotte were out of the race. And the fastest lap looks like it'll probably go to Zach Martin. Somebody further down has a randomly good one. Yeah, there it is, Zach Martin. By a long shot, 2:25.375. Alrighty. I'm going to apply the scoring, and Byron's going to kill time.
No, I don't think I will. Are you done yet?
I am, but I'm a little bit concerned that there might be an error.
Well, you figure that out, and I'm going to abandon you. Enjoy.
That's fair.
Be sure to everybody tune into Mike's new website about vegetables called Corn Hub.
Corn. It's terrible. All right, it looks like there was no error. Okay, that's good. All right, race winner and championship leader, Max Simmons is now 38 points ahead of William Murrah, so that championship is not looking great. Battle for second place is interesting, though. Murrah, Neil Sutherland, John Archie, Silvio Cortese, they're all kind of in that same kind of group there. Zach Martin in 6th, Dan French 7th. Matt Higgs down to 8th place. Mark Sutherland, Jeremy Reeder, your top 10. So you got a Browns driver in the top 10, which is pretty nice. In the team's championship, it's a 103-point lead for Porsche Motorsport North America. So despite missing Matt Higgs, the team still came up with 90 points today and outscored Momofine by 7 points. So yeah, that championship is, despite the loss of Higgs, not terribly interesting. 905 racers in 3rd place on 159 points. They have an 18-point gap to the Argentine crew. WRT Audi is in 5th with 115 points. Prestige Worldwide on 109. HMB on 103 and 62 for KCMG. Silver Championship. Zach Martin, who had been 2nd place in every silver race up until now, is a winner finally in the silver category. He leads by 6 points over Mark Sutherland. Simeon Naku up into 3rd. And in the bronze category, Jeremy Reeder, also a first-time winner. I'm surprised at that, actually. He's finished 2nd twice, 3rd once. He's got his first win. Ayrton Arsenault is 15 points behind him. And then 8 further back is Tom Waz, who has overtaken HNB teammate Connor Costantini for 3rd place. So that's very good. We'll be off to Zandvoort next, and then Laguna Seca to roll out the season. So we'll be on the desert for the next 2 races. Well, not the desert in the case of Zandvoort. It's actually the beachfront. But it'll be a sandy finales to the season. And hopefully we'll get a dry race finally, because the low chance to rain turning into rain pretty consistently has been the bane of the entire grid.